Past few hours have seen wave after wave of explosions, not just in Ukraine's capital Kyiv, but all across the country, from Lviv in the west to Kharkiv in the east to Odessa in the south. Further attacks using missiles and drones are expected as per ground reports. Now, compared to Russia's full-scale invasion, which began in February, there is an element of déjà vu. Further attacks using missiles and drones are expected, as I just mentioned, but these attacks are also different. The explosions in Kyiv are much closer to the center, so they are not distant thumps from the suburbs, but loud reverberations close to the streets and locations we've come to know well in the past 8 months. It's hard to tell what's being targeted, but a statement from the Ukraine's Ministry of Culture said museums had been hit so far. Meanwhile, Ukraine's President Zelensky has said energy facilities are being hit across the country, not just in Kyiv. A Russian missile has struck a newly built pedestrian and glass cycling bridge, as we can show on your screens at the moment. This footage is from Kyiv. This footage from a surveillance camera on the bridge shows the moment it was struck. We don't know yet how many people were attacked, how many people died from this specific attack, but these visuals are absolutely dramatic and tragic. Maxar, meanwhile, collected new satellite imagery of the aftermath of a large explosion that heavily damaged the strategic Crimea bridge, which connects the Crimean peninsula with the Russian mainland. You can see significant structural damage is apparent on the bridge span that carries vehicle traffic, with several sections that have dropped into the water below. On the adjacent span, we're also being told there's a rail line and several train rail cars on the bridge span were on fire. This, as Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko has said, Belarus and Russia would deploy a joint military task force on the country's western borders in response to what he called an aggravation of tension, as per state-run Belta News. But these latest strikes, analysts and experts say, looks like brutal payback for the audacious attack on the Crimean bridge over the weekend, which is considered a symbol of Russia's control over the peninsula it seized illegally back in 2014. But 2 days ago, social media was flooded with videos and memes as Ukrainians widely celebrated the attack on the bridge, linking Russia with the Crimean peninsula. Today, these videos are all of shell-shocked residents, fiery debris and urgent warnings. It feels inevitable, but that doesn't lessen the shock.